forcibly taken away.
Someone lost their heart medication, someone lost their immigration papers, and photos of their mom. What we saw was park rangers taking people's home.
That was your fault they lost their stuff. You gave them false hope and told them they could stay, you fucking idiot. Then they lost their stuff. You came in there and said, hey, you don't have to leave. I know what you do, Ryan. You've gotten people living in tents across Canada. And you will not demand that they be housed properly like the Ukrainian migrants. They were born here and you treat them less than Ukrainian migrants. You wouldn't even have a job if you weren't doing diabolical crap, making our neighborhood look like shit. You got our cops taken away. You got people killed. You got people killed in the Ryan Suds stabbing tunnel. We don't even still have street cops anymore. There's no cameras in there. You got Josh killed. You got Josh killed. Promoting tents in tent cities and making a living for it while you go home to your wife with your children in your privileged white neighborhood and your privileged white life. You got Josh depressed, Daisy's dad. And he was a human. He's dead now because of a creep like you. You take all their hope away because you don't have the balls to stand up for proper housing. And yeah, Vancouver should be ashamed. There's nothing like this in Russia. And you are a fucktard. I didn't have to worry about your stupid film. Stop the sweeps. Because people could look and see what a monster show dangerous monster show. Everybody that died in the dangerous monster show that you created on our streets is on you. Definitely on you. I've lost count on how many people you helped die with your stupid policies. We're going to hear this guy whine, and I'm not going to feel sorry for him because I spent at least 2 years in homeless shelters, my stuff in storage, because I wouldn't do this to other people. I wouldn't live on someone's street, pee on their street, poo on their street, and make a mess. It looks like a shit show. I put my stuff in storage. So we're going to hear him whine, and I'm not going to feel sorry for him because I had to house with druggies, and he's in a park with druggies.
In the shelters, it's rampant. It's scary. It's not safe. So I mean, here in my tent, I'm safe.
This is a false head. False, false, false. I've been in homeless shelters. All the stabbings and murders were outside. Most of them on my block and the next block over. You're lying. I have personal experience, a lot of homeless shelters. Well, I put my stuff in storage so I didn't make a mess like you. Dangerous is outside. People have been murdered in that park. And you're going to pull that? You're a fucking liar.
Essential items for people sheltering in the park, which can be retrieved within 30 days. But some of the residents of the encampment say that's often not the case.
They're just thieves and liars. They say that they're going to put your stuff in storage and stuff, but I mean, I've seen people that had their stuff taken and they've lost it, and they said after 30 days, what happens is they throw it away.
You make a great argument for a mental hospital. If people can't get their stuff out of storage within 30 days, we need mental hospitals to get them off the drugs so they can live inside. A lot of them are unhousables. And you're a senior. You should know better. You know what's really bad is I might even be older than him at 62. But you should know better. You put your stuff in storage. Dangerous? Are you fucking nuts? That's the biggest fucking lie. You can check my channel. I never saw a murder in the homeless shelter. I never saw a stabbing in the homeless shelter. But I've seen lots outside. and in your park.
Process at the park rangers are engaging, it's humiliating. The image of tents in parks is something that the city doesn't like, and they are willing to do anything they can to get rid of that image. And that includes stealing people's homes.
In Vancouver,
Process at the park rangers are engaging, it's humiliating. The image of tents in parks is something that the city doesn't like, and they are willing to do anything they can to get rid of that image. And that includes stealing people's homes.
in Vancouver, Cecilia Hua.
You have a nerve to talk about humiliating? You made our neighborhood a total shit show and you don't have any shame? It'd be humiliating to fight anyone from before I lived here to this neighborhood. Humiliating? Are you fucking nuts because of your fucking shit show you created on our block? I got robbed twice. I have to phone the police quite often just to get out the door safely. Our security guards are no longer allowed to go outside the door because your people are really dangerous. Our staff all got physically beaten enough that they didn't come back, and we had to get new staff. Humiliating? And still you can't stand up for decent housing? Of course it should be humiliating. It's freaking garbage. You're not even smart enough to know that streets are not for poo and pee. You turned our whole blocks into a big urinal. I had to take medication to smell it. You're insane, or you're just plain evil. And you're using poor people for your agenda of, I don't know, making money? You're a poverty pimp. You sure in the hell didn't come down here at Christmas or New Year's and hand out stuff that you make money from those people. What would you be doing if we didn't have people in tents? Who would you be trying to put in tents? Ryan Suds? You certainly don't want to cry or be vulnerable on these fucking streets, because these little predator street poopers will fuck you over. Sounds like maybe somebody's being raped in the tent? Having sex in the tent? What is it? What is that? Like, you can't tell if that's sex noise or frickin' help me noise. Are you kidding me? I got a stroller, for God's sakes. How wide are you? That wide. Ryan Suds created this creepiness. And the last video, in the tents, women could not say no, if you get my drift. There's no. I don't feel like it, I got a headache, no. It was part of living in tents, and they were told by a woman. And I had to counsel 2 women that were crying on me at Oppenheimer Park for, not having the right to say no or being part of #MeToo. They did a study of women in these encampments, and 100% of them were assaulted. They didn't even have the right to cross their legs and say no. That one there would probably have no problem, because she's got ugly happening with all the drug, energy, not being able to care for herself. I don't think anyone would touch her. She's probably safe. Good Friday? So anyway, don't worry. Tomorrow, someone from here, when they have their security during the daytime, will have him disassemble his tent, because they're not allowed to have tents here. Only at night. In the morning, they gotta go.
Yeah, you'll never hear the advocates talk about that. I'll show you in the morning.
Ryan Suds fought this shit show, believe it or not. Now, this shit show would never be allowed in any decent country like Russia. Ukraine wouldn't had nothing like this before they're half my people. I'm half Ukrainian. Before my Ukrainian lunatics went nuts and started a war. Thank you. Thank you. The food prices, we really appreciate my fellow half Ukrainians. And you guys all live in good homes compared to the Canadians. You're white. Mostly natives down here. Probably why you got good homes, but maybe not. Maybe you're just being used as a tool, which isn't your fault, from our prime pooper to make more homeless people. So I guess I shouldn't blame you. I should blame the prime pooper, the people that make the decisions. But while you guys are sitting in nice homes, this is the shit we have. Half Ukrainian, half German Jewish, and that's what I lived in. Did I ever feel like I was in a Nazi fucking camp?
I sure hope that's what they're doing. I sure hope they move, in a way that's respectful. And just say sorry to all of us. Yes, that's what they need to do. Sorry for ruining your summer. So I think that's someone from the city. Okay, I have my jammies on.
Ryan said shit show more.
These are all fucktards, don't listen to them. Did somebody get shot? Did somebody get shot? Can you tell for me, for my Debbie Hellion channel, did somebody get shot? Because I thought I heard gunshots. He's lying dead. I hear screaming.
Ryan Suds housing for Canadians.
Oh, come on, have your family fight somewhere else. Right out the fucking window.
It turned out that she was abused, so I'm not going to put this on anymore. I don't want to hear it again. I didn't know. I had no clue until she ran out of the tent. Ryan Suds keeping women safe on the fucking street. You should have seen how many rats came running out of some of these tents. Imagine Russia if you had a neighborhood like this. It's across Canada now.
Hey, next time you guys yell at a dog barking, phone 911 and tell them you're a street person and there's too much noise. Shut up. Someone's gonna be phoning on your fucking dog. You guys abuse it. I don't listen to retards like you. You have no influence. Poor dog so abused, Daisy.
That dog was so abused. It was a dog on hard drugs in a box. It became very dangerous. It bit quite a few people. I don't know what happened to it, but it was apparently allowed to bite people on our street. That's what Ryan Suds did to our neighborhood. Now, if that happened in his neighborhood, he'd be, have his little panties in a fucking knot. Not in my neighborhood. He never took one of these people to his neighborhood. None of the poverty pimps took any of these tents to their neighborhood. Their white privileged neighborhood. The majority of them were white.
I'll buy you a hot coffee from the store. Are you okay? Okay. Well, my buzzer number is 3476. You can remember that if you find yourself in trouble. I can't believe you slept out here. I thought you were dead in the morning. I freaked out. Glad you're alive. Okay, we're gonna go through that.
Ryan, son, stabbing tunnel, Daisy. We have no choice. But, gee. Keep that available. The anti-stabbing tool. Okay, wait, Daisy. It's dirty in here and there's dirt on this floor, on this ground. Say beep, 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 come through. Okay, Daisy, that's enough. Press your buttons. You got a button. You just press your button and say down. It's enough. Okay, there you go, Daisy. You know what? We have to go across the street. Oh, this ride's really good in the snow, just about. Better than I thought. Now we're going to hear a testimony. Now, Ryan Suds will never say these people are suffering on fentanyl and hard drugs, that they're hard to house, they ruin their housing, and people like me, a lot of people like me, we get caught up in it and have to stay in homeless shelters, put our stuff in storage. Okay, he never mentions about the pain. He got Josh killed. He got all those people in the Ryan Suds stabbing tunnel, making an unsafe environment killed. There's not even a freaking camera on our block. We have unsolved murders thanks to Ryan Suds and his poverty pimp fellow fuckers. And they come from nice neighborhoods. Not one of them will demand equal housing to Ukrainian migrants. Not their fault. It's the poverty pimps and the government's fault. Then you'll get a fucking freak like Degenerate, who's, I don't know, living in a tent. I don't know, you know. He's a pretender. I don't know where he lives. He could be in a tent city protecting tent cities. Go inside, Degenerate. Anyway, it's a stalker guy. He's hilarious because he's quite insane. Number one, he thinks filming outside on my sidewalk is an invasion of privacy. Lunacy, taking it to another level.
It's nothing less than devastating. It is truly the biggest crisis I've seen in America. I'm sad. I'm almost 40 years old, Senator Brown and Senator Scott. I have lived long enough to see almost every form of drug that has came across since the 80s. And I grew up in a household that had multiple addicts and alcoholics in that household. I have seen drugs from an early age, and I can tell you that every alcohol I've seen and every drug I've seen, nothing has held a candle to what's happening with fentanyl in the United States of America. I'm seeing people shatter. I'm seeing families get broken. I'm seeing, like I spoke about in my speech, it's important to note that the real victims there's a quote that says, the addict isn't the only person in the family that suffers from the symptoms of the addiction. The entire family suffers with the addict. The entire family rallies around the addict and carries that. The addict is not the only victim in this. It spreads far. The addict is not the only victim in this. It spreads far. It is time for us to be proactive and not reactive. We were reactive with crack. We were reactive with opioids. And y'all are taking the first step at somebody in Senate finally being proactive. I truly believe in my heart that this bill will stop the supply and can help stop the supply of fentanyl. But in part of being proactive, gentlemen and women and ladies, I have to be frank and tell y'all that if we don't talk to the other side of Capitol Hill and stop the demand, we're going to spin our tires in the mud. Y'all are taking the first step, but I encourage you to take it outside of this room, and you take it to your colleagues and your constituents, and you give them the most that you can.
Here's Ryan Suds with his nice blue, white, privileged, probably expensive running shoes, making cops carry him out. How pathetic. Ryan, you know fentanyl's bad for people. Why don't you ever stand up against the damage that's being done? And what other neighborhood, you racist, could you do this to, except for a native neighborhood, which makes you a white privileged racist?